the Speedrunning Talk Show, the RunDown. I'm here with my special guest, Cheese. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Good. We got the show started. Record time, only 5 minutes late, so I'm happy to get that out of the way for sure. But first, let's talk about what is this show going to be all about. We got people in here wondering what's happening. Cheese, let them know.
Well, this is GSA's first episode of our first speedrunning talk show, and basically, it is what it says it is. A little bit different to a podcast. It's going to be more of like an informative show. We have reports on GSA's leagues, and some highlights to show you guys of epic events and moments in the past races for the past 2 weeks. Every episode would be about 2 weeks, every 2 weeks. So the highlights we have would be showing moments from those past 2 weeks. And I would be talking about them. We'd be touching on player profiles, talking about players, the growth of certain players, how they've been performing, and of course some nice speedrunning news as well. So the full package.
There you go, guys. Yeah, but it's important to say, too, we're talking about all competitive speedrun here, right? We're not just GSA is kind of the base here, but we're always going to talk about other stuff too, and there's hot news going on. And to get that started, though, let's get with our segment with our hot reporter, Pity, and he's going to give us a segment about all the tournaments going on in the world right now. So let's get right to it.
Hello, everybody. I am your hard-hitting commentator and news reporter, Pity, and today we are going to be getting into the GSA League standings here for Season 1. And our current leagues are Super Mario Odyssey Any%, Celeste Any%, Mario Kart Double Dash Time Trials League, Super Mario 64 16-star, and Divisions 1 and 2 of the 70-star League. So let's get just right into it. Starting off, we have the Super Mario Odyssey Any% League right now. Stravos96 in the lead with Nicrovita in second. Though one thing to note here is that they have the same amount of sets played and the same amount of sets won. So if we scroll up here, we'll see Nicrovita, Stravos, both 6-0, and they haven't done the head-to-head yet. So look for that in the future. We have Lil Curbs as well right behind with 5-1, and then Chaos Springle in fourth seed with the 4-2. These are looking to be the top 4 right now going into pace so far. But watch the top 8 here all the way down to Iquan. The top 8 will all get a shot in bracket to make it to pace, and watch just under that too. Some of these players might have a comeback surge here in the second half of the league. Moving on though, Celeste Any%, you might not be surprised to see TGH here at the top of the standings, but we also have Flatterv right behind, and Nero, not too far behind in third place as well. I have TGH with the 6-0 lead here in first place, but Flatterv also 6-0, and they haven't done the head-to-head yet. So watch for Flatterv versus TGH, but also in third place, Nero X2. He's lost one set to Flatterv, who's undefeated, but you might see a player like Nero beat TGH. It has been close in the past, so we might see a 3-way battle for the first place standing right now. But also, look down to the top 8 to 10 people. We might see some movement here at the bottom. Remember, the top 8 all get a shot in bracket to make it to pace. So moving on. We are here with the Mario Kart Double Dash Time Trials League. Gumnal, first place, pretty much expected. He's believed to be the top dog here in Mario Kart Double Dash. And we have Baseball Kid second, Outer Halo third, Loth John fourth, and Optimistic Emo fifth place. Maybe unexpected to see him so low. He might have a kind of a recovery here in the second half of the league, but we'll have to wait and see. One thing to note here though is Gumnal 6-0 and Baseball Kid 5-1. Not too much separates these two players right now, so watch out for them here in the future. But we also have Outer Halo. He is in third place, but 5-0. He's done one less set than his two competitors that are above him, so watch for that. He might shoot into past Baseball Kid, maybe even up to Gumnal range. Moving on though, we have the 16-star league. Everyone expected Aki at first place, very consistent, 15s constantly. World record holder, 1508, marvelous player. But we also have Western Digital Benny right behind. Benny, very consistent player, probably more battle ready than a lot of the 16-star runners. He focuses a lot on consistency, a lot on race strategies as well. Unexpectedly, perhaps for some, we have CLG Cheese, who's more of a longer category runner, like 120 star and 70 star. Here in the third place in the standings in 16-star league, he actually took a game from Aki the other day, and he PB'd in 16 star, even with a failed BLJ. So watch for Cheese. I think he's gunning for the top here. We might see him, top the standings here and go to the finals. Anti, we have in 4th place, newcomer to the scene, Super Mario 64. Very strong player out the gate here. We'll have to see if he holds on to a spot here, or maybe he can even claw his way up into 3rd or 2nd place. And then we have Ouija, former world record holder, took a break for Sunshine, was doing other things, but he's back on the world record grind. I would fully expect Ouija to make a strong comeback here, and we might even see him go up in the standings a little bit. D whatever, Rockjock, Paracusia, all very strong players. Might see some battling down there, and then Protoman, right behind. So we'll see what happens in the 16-star league moving forward. I'd expect more movement in the bottom than the top, though. Moving on here, we have the 70-star Division 2 league right now. And interestingly, we see Protoman at the first spot. Protoman is a very consistent player, so, very strong in races, though when his opponent plays, completely to their plan and on point, Protoman, might have a harder chance at winning because, he sacrifices some speed for the consistency. We have Momo in 2nd, but one thing to note here is Momo up here is 6-0, while Protoman is 6-1. So Protoman has played one more set. We might expect Momo to top the standings over Protoman in just one more set here if he can pull it out. And then, Drogi, Taba, JJ, all looking pretty good. And then all the way down to J-Mel and Pete. So expect maybe some movement here at the bottom. I think that, the bottom, like 7th seed through 10th seed are all fairly close in skill. Definitely expect more movement there at the bottom than the top, I believe, as well. And then moving on, last but not least, we have, the creme de la creme of 70-star league right now, Division 1. We have Punkation, Devin Blair. First seed, pretty expected. Punkation's very consistent. He's been killing it in 70-star lately. A bunch of 48s in races. He's been PBing a couple times in 70-star lately. Has that 47 now. D whatever in 2nd isn't too unexpected. He's very quick, but Toast Rider in 3rd might be a little bit unexpected. He doesn't have as much time to play Mario as the rest of these boys, but no one doubts his skill. One thing to really note here, the match of the week here for 70-star was Toast Rider versus Cheese, in which Toast Rider actually dismantled Cheese. He won 48-50, which is a pretty large gap, and Toast Rider actually locked in a PB there, which is fairly impressive. So watch for Toast Rider. He's getting better by the day. Cheese 4th place. We didn't really expect to see that, but he's definitely still in that good place you want to be. The top 4 is pretty much what you want, but the top 8 all have a shot to make it in. They all make it to bracket. We have Western Digital Benny, very good racer. Ouija, very strong at 70, coming back more to Super Mario 64. Might expect a bounce back from him. Benji's great in races too. Young Prodigy, and we have Paracusia, Liam, and Viro, all very strong players. I would expect also a lot of movement here at the bottom going into the second half of the league as, we carry on with GSA content. But that is going to be all for me, and I'm going to be throwing you back to Alt and Cheese. Thanks, everybody, for watching, and I will see you guys soon.
All right, we are back. Thank you, Pity, for that segment. There you go. The report for the past few weeks, the current standings of the GSA Leagues. Do you have anything to point out that you noticed, ALT? Anything exciting?
Well, I guess I would say, what is your biggest surprise so far in these leagues? It could be anything.
Well, surprise personally, the Mario 64 League, Anti taking 4th place in the 16-star league so far, it's a little bit of a shocker. And like Pity said, Anti it's more of a newcomer. He doesn't have a long time in the game, but he's performing. He seems to be really good at racing, really good at performing consistently, and he's up there. So really good contender. And of course, Goomba in Mario Kart really being the master of that game, but also out of Halo taking all the wins as well. So I mean, all of the leagues right now, anyone could just snatch first place at this point. No one really has that huge lead that is like, oh, that person's gonna win, So it's really close.
Yeah, awesome. And we'll definitely highlight at the end of the show. We'll highlight our hypest races coming up in the next 2 weeks as well. So stay tuned for that. But Speaking of hype, we're going to interview someone that is pretty hype themselves, and they play a pretty hype game. So before I spoil that, let's watch some highlights from that game, so we get in the mood for some Celeste.
Oh,
Wow.
oh, coming down to flag 1. This is very important. Flag 1 movement, more important than ever right now.
Come on, guys.
Oh my god, I can't even
They're
see
cleared.
things. Oh!
I think Scrubbler might have skipped cutscene faster.
Wow, yeah, I guess it does work. Those hyper. Oh my god! Oh my god!
That was legendary.
He got himself stuck into a corner with 5 hyperspeed battle line chasing him, and he said, "You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna dash upright," and he threads the needle. Wow.
Making quick work of this screen. He's gonna grab another berry. No, he's not. He's gonna keep this one on hand though, as he's heading for auto scroller skip. Woo! He gets that with. All right. Oh no! Can you save this? Can you save this? Ah! Oh my god! Oh my god!
Yeah, I want to say shout out to FC Racers there for the great commentary in that last one. And I want to ask you, I mean, obviously, just by watching, you see that Fledervy's play there at the end there was pretty incredible. But could you tell us a little more about that? Why was that so awesome? I mean, it looks like a guy jumping on the ledge. It's very hard. But what makes that so awesome? What makes Fledervy so awesome? My God.
Sorry, mic issues.
I was like,
We're good to
do
go.
I pretend I'm hearing or not?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Cheese. Hang it again. That was
All
hot,
right.
though.
So what I was saying is that I personally have been watching a lot of Fledervy and TGH, arguably 2 of the top players right now currently in Celeste, and I've noticed that there's a trend in speed gaming where the top players in speed games, they have 2 opposing styles, but they're consistent styles. And I've noticed that in Fledervy. Fledervy's that kind of runner where he loves being good at the game. He loves sitting down and trying these crazy strats and doing the craziest things that you won't see other people doing runs, and just trying to get like the god time. He wants to get that time that no one could beat. And watching that backup, for example, I'm just not surprised to see somebody like Fledervy doing that, pulling off like 3 jump inputs within a second in that crazy order to get that backup. It's something that you could only see someone like Fledervy or just very few players do. And then you look at TGH, and TGH pulls off low 28s like every run he does. Very, very consistent player, and that's the trend I was talking about. There are those 2 different styles, but the question is, like, which one is going to end up with the better PB at the end, or which one is going to help them to actually win and take the league? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what we have to wait and see. They're both doing really well. They've won all the races, but Fledervy is yet to play against TGH, so we'll see that real soon.
Mm-hmm.
And that's going to be interesting.
That's important to say. Like, the person with the world record is not like, hey, he's going to win every match he does, right? I mean, it's not like that. You got to be consistent in the tournament. That's why tournaments are good. But yeah, let's get to our guest today. His name is TGH, as Chi just mentioned. Obviously, a world record holder of many categories of Celeste. I mean, if you talk about Celeste, you think TGH. I mean, that's pretty much how it is. Hot off the winner, Twitch Rivals win, sponsor member of Noble Stream Team. I would put in there a little the fact about he's 8th place in Link to the Past, which is that's a hype game too. So 8th place, and that means you're pretty hot in that game as well. But what else could he add about TGH? Cheese?
Yeah, I mean, not only that, but the game that he used to play before, Undertale, and he started a while ago with that game, and he had world records in that game. Yeah, and like you said, Link to the Past, and now Celeste, and he's an example of a top tier speedrunner. Competitive. He sets his eye on a goal, and he achieves that goal, and then he never stops. And that's a crazy thing. He just keeps going, and that's very admirable.
And I want to say before we bring him in here, he's also has insanely good remixes. So go check him out. His songs on here, because they're really good, and I was surprised there. But let's bring him in here. TGH, we could talk about your music, but I think we want to talk about how awesome you are at speedrunning, my friend. So how you feeling today?
Hi, I'm good. I'm here. What's up?
So yeah, I guess first we got to talk about it. You're hot off the Twitch Rivals win. How did that feel? What was the experience like? Tell us about that.
It felt good. I sort of it was the kind of thing where like it was a really interesting format. So like I felt like going into a game plan was a pretty good idea. So I figured like I think I think what worked for me was like I went in sort of safe, like safe at first. I got a time, and then like it was just like grinding for a PB, except like the way I grind for a PB. Sorry, I'm jumping all over the place here, but like the way I normally grind for a PB is like, um, I will like I won't do like more aggressive strats until I feel like I need to. So like I got, what was it, like a 28? I think I got something in 28:30s in the first run, and then the very next run, I think with like fairly safe strats for me, I got a 28:05, and from there, like, trying more aggressive stuff until I got that time that was slightly better, and I did. I think I finished with a 28:02. So it was really interesting having to like actually have a strategy going in and executing that strategy, and I feel like I did that pretty well.
Awesome. How confident do you think you were going into it? Did you think, yeah, I got this in the bag?
I was nervous. Like I think there was a time when I was at the top and like nobody could really like nobody was competing, and now it's very far from that right now. There are 5-6 guys um who could come and take the top spot from me, and it's scary, but it's also relieving at the same time. It's because I love competition. Like I really like competition, and it's what makes speedrunning fun to me, is competition, uh, and it gives me more of a reason to improve myself, and just, yeah, pretty much it makes speedrunning better for me. It really does.
I want to know what you thought about that format, because when I first saw the format, I was like, it's kind of tough to follow, because I'm always thinking about the new viewer, because they're the people we want to get to make speedrun bigger. We got to get the new viewer. And with the Mega Man event they did first, it was kind of hard to know what's going on. This time they did a much better job with that, for sure. So, and then I kind of see the benefits of that. But what do you think about that event? Do you handle any differently than when you're trying to get a world record?
I haven't been able to go back and watch the VOD for the record, but I hear that they did cover that really well. But no, like, I mean, it was basically like, aside from being like pretty nervous at the start, and then I eventually like settled into it. It was just like any regular session for me. Except I was maybe a little bit more focused than I normally am during a normal session, like all throughout. I had my chat pretty much completely closed throughout every run. I knew that every little second I could shave off my time would count, with people like Vlad, Nero, Sushi, like, kind of breathing down my neck a little bit. I knew that I would need those extra seconds. But yeah, it was basically pedal to the metal all the way until the finish, and I knew I couldn't afford to do anything else.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so did you keep tabs of how others were doing, or did you just try to get the best time? Like you mentioned that you were just focusing on your runs, not even reading chat, but did you ever like check to see or have other people's races streams open while you're doing runs?
The only thing I had up was the times, like the actual current PBs of everyone during the Twitch Travels event. Like, they had like a little document which
Right.
you could view, and I had that up, but I didn't have anything else up. I didn't have the stream up. I didn't want to distract myself too much. The key for me was as little distractions as possible, but while still knowing where everyone is, because I felt that was somewhat important. But yeah, I wasn't gonna go out of my way to like watch a stream, or be in somebody else's stream while I was playing, because I knew that would do nothing but distract me. So yeah, that was it for me.
Smart.
I gotta know, Patriots just won the Super Bowl again. They win the Super Bowl a lot, obviously, and a lot of people start to, not like that, right? And you kind of I consider you're kind of the Patriots of Celeste, I think, because if you win, people say, when it goes online, TGH won, of course, right? I mean, when they announced the tournament, it's like, all right, TGH won, $1,500, whatever it was. People just assume you're gonna win, and then when you win, it's like, okay, he won. So what do you think about that? Does that motivate you? Is it not motivating? What do you think about that?
I don't like it, to be honest with you, but I guess I can't really be that upset about it. Or at least I can try to pretend I'm not upset about it. But yeah, it's it's a lot of pressure. It really is. Like, I feel like these sorts of events, like, I have, in addition to the pressure I put on myself, which is quite a bit, pretty much always, I have a lot of like outside pressure put on me as well from a lot of people, and I don't really like that too much. But it is what it is. It's just it's there's something unsatisfying about the fact that like if I win, it was almost expected by a lot of people, and if I don't win, it's like that's a downer for me as well. But GG to whoever won. It's like I think I've gone through bouts where like I feel like it would be good for the community if somebody else were to win or take the top spot, and it's kind of bad feeling that. Like, that's not a good feeling for me, but it is what it is. I've gone through that before, but it's I guess, yeah, it is what it is. I keep saying that, but it's just how it is.
I remember specifically hearing you saying this once before, and yeah, I get that feeling too. And but then, like you mentioned before, you see these players coming up, and now it's like you feel like, wow, anyone could take the world record. Any of these top players could just come in and take it, and that's more competition and more chances for all these other players to be at the top as well. But in saying that, what do you think your next step is? What's left for you to accomplish from now on?
I think in light of everything I just said, the next step is to try to push all of that away, push all of it out. Focus on my own thing, not try to buy into like people's expectations or just anything like that, and just try my best to focus on myself. And I've gone through some steps to try to do that. But yeah, as far as like Celeste goals go, I do want to try to improve my 90% time a little bit. Resting at 27:55 right now. Of course, there's pace coming up. I really want to try to finish strongly in that. Again, regardless of everything I just talked about, I do really want to try and win pace. That's a pretty big goal for me as well. That's why I'm focusing mostly on 80% right now and not getting into like berry related categories, which I do want to do after pace. I really want to try and run. I want to improve my all red berries time, my 100% time, and yeah, that's it for me, I think. Also, I plan on for the first time ever, I plan on submitting to ESA.
Ooh.
ESA summer. So
Nice.
yeah. But yeah, other than that, I can't really see too much in the future. I like to try to focus on what's going on now. So it's yeah, we'll see what happens.
Yep, TGH, you I mean, obviously you're an awesome speedrunner. You obviously have accomplished almost everything you can in one game, and I hope you can keep doing it. And I hope you. I know it's much easier said than done, but I hope you take your accomplishments as no matter what everyone says, like, oh, TGH won again. A lot of people wish they could do that. You know what I mean? A lot of people wish they could get to the point where they say, wow, it's a tournament, this guy's going to win it. And, I think you should hopefully you can hold on to that. It's like, it is the awesome accomplishment what you've been able to do with this game. I mean, it's very, very rare that someone owns a game like this. And this game is not a game like, SimCity on the SNES or something where there's no one playing it. This game has a lot of people playing it. You know what I mean? So I mean, this is a hot
SimCity
game.
for the SNES.
Shout outs to ACLMN with the world record there. But yeah, I mean, it's something that should be. I hope it's celebrated. That's why I hope we can do with this show on the rundown. I want to celebrate TJ because you're a badass. So I mean, keep it up, man. Keep doing what you do.
I appreciate it. Yeah, it's like when I take a step back, I can see that, but sometimes it's hard to see things from that perspective, but I try.
Yeah, I'm totally on the same page with you on that one. Yeah, I know the feeling.
Yeah, I've talked to you about it recently, actually, and everything. Yeah, it's not easy. It's not always easy, but it's I keep saying it. It is what it is. It's just,
I think we need to get the speedrunner speedrunner psychology thing. Speedrunner psychology session here. So Cheese, before you let go, we were way over time already. Of course, it's gonna happen. But Cheese, you said you feel the same thing. That's same because you were on top of a game as well. That's had the same feeling. I have a rare chance here with two people on top of their game. So I want to ask that. Is that what you mean? You've been on top for a long time now there too.
Yeah. I relate to it. And but again, now it's like the same situation. Now there are players like Tago and then Punkate's coming back again. There are players that are stepping up and they're taking the spots. So it's like you get that feeling, but now it's like, oh, okay. Then you realize, wait, I need to start thinking about this stuff, and I need to get back to work, you know. And then that's good. It's like reassurance of what your main goal is supposed to be. So,
all right, there you go, guys. TGH, you're awesome. Cheese, you're awesome too. Everyone watching, you guys are all awesome. But coming on, okay.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. All right, guys, we are gonna get ready for our next guest. His name is Edenal. We're gonna play some awesome ESA Winter highlights for you to get hyped for that. But thanks again, TGH. Keep rocking. Everyone, follow him. Okay, if you're not following him, you're doing something wrong. Go follow him. And TGH, keep it rocking, my friend.
Thank you for having me, guys. I appreciate it.
Welcome to ESA Winter 2019. For the next 6 days, we'll be speedrunning for charity, gathering money for the Save the Children Foundation.
Hey, audience!
That's you guys, that's not me.
We have $26 from Isaiah. I see that the crowd is filling up. Can the crowd do a conga line around the entire room? Try to fish up as many people as possible along the way, and then the conga line behind Samurai. So let's see, who's the front of the conga line?
Jesus. Imagine I have to be part of them. Yeah, you'd actually have to play with a wave break. Can you hear me?
Chris got the same RNG.
Yep, I got the same energy.
No! DK's hitbox! Oh no! DK's hitbox.
What do you mean? They're all the same.
Your head. No, no, not.
Yes, let's go.
DK's hitbox
Maybe,
is huge.
Neck and neck.
Dude,
Maybe
Chungus. Dude, Chungus, man.
Audience!
Nothing works now.
Time to T-pose for good luck. You got this, Samurai man.
I'm just gonna restart. Oh, I'm not here? Oh. I have to play.
Alright, I think the Lance Vance dance is like this. I don't know. I have no fucking clue what I'm doing. I don't know.
No, I'm just waiting for him to get in my field of hitting. Oh no! I had it! Yay! Wait for it. Good play!
There you go, guys. A little hint of what was going on at the ESA Winter that just finished 2 days ago. Awesome event. I mean, those. One thing about ESA is that it's just there is endlessly consistent of high quality stuff, and it's how it is. It's just ESA. The only thing they know how to do is make consistent marathons. Cheese, do you want to talk about anything? Did you see anything? Any runs specifically you want to talk about there?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, Twilight Princess. It's so weird to see Samurai Man playing Twilight Princess because everyone's so used to him playing SMS, and a lot of people I think still don't actually know that he is a really good Twilight Princess speedrunner, and just to see him doing Twilight Princess at an event is so refreshing because it's like, oh, you know, this guy's known for SMS and now he's able to show another game that he's good at an event. It's just really refreshing to see. But one thing about ESA that I tend to notice a lot is the production quality is it's high end, it's good, and I know they tend to use, I think they use RGB stuff in their setups, which is really cool. But definitely I would love to go to ESA this year. I'm thinking about it. But apart from that, we have more really interesting news from Edenal himself about ESA stuff. So hopefully we can get him in to talk about that.
Yeah, we're just bringing him in now. Give me 1 second here. Looks like he is ready for action. Let me get his camera up. Now you're ready for action, my friend. One moment here. Cheese, talk about something awesome if you have a chance. Tell us something else awesome.
Well, of course, adding on to ESA, and Edenal's going to touch on it. There is TwitchCon Europe, and which is in April, right? A few weeks before PACE, actually. And of course, ESA is going to be at TwitchCon Europe this year, just like how GDQ was at TwitchCon last year in October. It's ESA's turn to take their spot at TwitchCon. So, and I'll be attending as well. So I'm going to be really interested to check that out and see how it goes.
Hotness.
And yeah,
There we go, guys. I'm almost ready with the video here. And 1 second. Cheese did a inadequate job of vamping there. Okay. Inadequate vamp in action. Okay, ready? I think we are ready to roll. Okay. Edenal's in the house. He is a true man. You know, one thing I can say is a lot of people have ideas, right? And this is back. We're talking back in 2012 when ESA was started, and you know, just after GDQ was rocking and rolling, a little bit before after that. A lot of people have ideas like, I want to do this too. I want to make it happen, you know. But you made that happen. That's awesome. So yeah, but first let's talk about ESA Winter. Just finished. So what are your kind of overall thoughts there?
Oh, ESA Winter was great. ESA Winter is our kind of new event. We started it because we started ESA Winter because we were doing DreamHack Winter and DreamHack Summer, and it didn't really fit with our time schedules, but we still wanted to do more than one event per year. So we started ESA Winter last year. Super small event, super chill, like 30 attendees, still rocked. 5 days of streaming around the clock. Everyone was like helping out, doing runs, playing D&D. It was great. And after the success of ESA Summer last year, ESA Winter just took off like boom. Sold out tickets. So many good runs. We smashed we smashed our expectations in viewer numbers, and I think we were up like 200-300% in every key stat.
Oh wow!
So for us organizers, it was great. People were saying when they were leaving that they didn't want to leave. It was one of the best events they've ever been to. So we are all super happy about that. Super happy about that. And now we move into TwitchCon in 2 months and Summer in 4 months. So we got a very, very packed schedule here coming up this season.
Yeah, that's amazing. I could see the passion when you're talking about the success of ESA Winter, and it's very admirable to see like somebody cares so much about what they're doing, and it's just paying off and being, you know, just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. It's great to hear.
Yeah, I want to know how are you guys so consistent with your production values, right? I mean, is it some people's full-time job to do this stuff, or is it just still labor love for everybody?
Oh yeah, the only one that's not a pure volunteer at this moment is me. We of course compensate our staff in various ways, but it's why it's so consistent is because we work a lot with automation and strict processes. So we have a workflow we follow. Once we get the, let's say, audio quality, or we have one type of microphone. We have, I mean, from there it's up to your voice. And we have a system in place that'll just help anyone to set it up. Look at these level meters. Ambient sound should be, well, you can actually put a like physical marker. Ambient noise should be here, so when you're playing the game, it should never go above this level. And when people are commentating and talking, it should be above at this level, which is just a little bit higher, and it should never go into red. Then you're doing something wrong. So fix that. I know we still have problems. This time not so many. Being critical, I mean, our two biggest problems was that unfortunately the ingest servers just died. Which unfortunately happened at the start of the marathon. So the first 10 minutes were a little bit choppy, but that was not on us. But it's how do you like you can't really, you're responsible for your product at all times. Right. We had one failure later in the week with the ingest servers, but we just needed to switch them, and that was that. I don't know. improving on that is at this point it's just buying more expensive gear. And are you going to spend a couple of $1,000s for a marginal improvement? I would say no. I would gladly spend a couple of $1,000s on something that would improve the workflow and make it easier to do the right things. What am I saying? If it can improve the workflow to where it doesn't allow us to do certain errors anymore, I would gladly go that route. But I don't see any point in buying more expensive cameras for marginal gain, for example.
Well, that's great. I mean, I think you guys definitely on the right path, and what I've been hearing from the community, speedrunning community, that everyone their eyes are on ESA, and they keep saying, look at the production value. You know, it's getting better and better, and they know what they're doing. So just keep doing what you guys are doing. You know, it's going, it's great. All right, so big news that I mentioned right before. You teamed up with TwitchCon. TwitchCon Europe is going to have ESA. Tell us a little bit about that. What is it going to be about?
Sure. We were informed that TwitchCon Europe was going to happen very, very early last year. I think it was sometime, must have been before the summer event when they announced it to partners. And a few months later, the news went public. It was after they announced it to partners. It leaked pretty fast, but still, there was no news about it. Once it was announced in November, we got in contact with Sinister, or he got in contact with us fairly quickly. Let's set up a plan. So we did. Once we knew what parameters we needed to, what parameters constrained us, we just worked out a plan from there. And in this case, it's going to be a 2-day event, April 13th and 14th, where we have approached runners we think would be suitable for TwitchCon.
Ooh, okay.
She's included.
Yeah, included.
So hold on, guys. Let's not skate over that. This means this is a 100% invitational speedrun event. Yes or no, Edenal?
Correct.
Ooh, okay. So
100% correct.
First of its kind, guys. That's actually happened. I mean, that's big news right there.
Yeah, I mean, for us, it makes sense to go about it that way. First of all, it lets us control the quality of runners, because this is not just ESA we need to worry about here. We're going to be representing speedrunning at TwitchCon. This is going to be the first time for a lot of people watching speedruns in a live setting. We're also constrained by the time. This is not going to be around the clock marathon, so we only have 2 days, 10 hours a day, so we have 20 hours to work with, including setup and all that. So I don't think it wouldn't be fair to have open submissions where we still would encourage certain runners to submit certain runs. It would be much harder to work the schedule from our end if we weren't allowed to say, let's say, to choose example, maybe 120 stars, cool, but it doesn't fit this event. 70 stars, better, because of time constraints.
I didn't realize it was only 20 hours. That makes
it's super short because of venue constraints. And another thing which I think is the real deal breaker, or not deal breaker, but the real reason why we wanted to go this way is that it's not fair to put a new speedrunner on the spot at TwitchCon in front of that many people. That it's not a fair first event. I wouldn't say.
Agree.
I wouldn't. Let's say I wouldn't put a speedrunner who's never been to a live event before as the opener or the finale of an ESA event.
Mm-hmm.
And I think anyone can agree with that.
Oh yeah. I mean, I think it's just something that should have happened already. I think if you want to put out the most entertaining product in a short amount of time, Invitational is kind of the only way to go, right? I mean, but I know it's never happened yet for various reasons, and I'm looking at you, Oceanside, and there was other stuff that never happened, but that was in the works before. It just never happened. So this would be cool to see, because I think this is something actually that should be a thing, right? I mean, I don't know why we're so in this marathon. If there's a speedrunning event, it has to be a marathon. I'm hoping things like pace can change that, because I don't think marathons are awesome too, but there can be a lot of other stuff, right? I mean, what do you think about that, Cheese?
Well, of course, it depends on the length too, right? Because if you have a week-long marathon, round the clock, having invitational, that would take a really long time and a kind of like unnecessary effort to make that an invitational, because it's lots of runners you're gonna have to find.
Yeah, true.
And again, it makes much more sense to have open submissions. So the length, I think, is the main decider here. And like Edenal said, since that length of 20 hours is really difficult, so it makes sense to take that direction.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Let's consider this as well. If we would have a late dropout, because marathons do have a 10 to 15% dropout in the weeks leading up to the event. Every event has this. I mean, it could be like there could be family issues. There could be you could get sick. You could just end up in a very poor spot financially and need to cancel the trip. If that would happen to us with TwitchCon, if we ran open submissions, oh shit, we lost 10%. Yeah, we lost 2 hours of the marathon. Who's going to cover that? I mean, for a shorter event, you can't really do backups like that. Oh, please come to TwitchCon. It's not at all going to be expensive to fly to this event to attend for 2 days.
Yeah.
But you're just a backup. Then you'd rather have like the runners. You met them before. There's still backup runs within the runner pool. I think our decision is very justified in this case.
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely. So that's obviously TwitchCon's gonna be hype. You guys check that out. For sure, it's gonna be in April, mid-April, right? Just want to make sure the dates.
Yes, 13, 14.
13, 14.
Unfortunately, overlapping with SpeedCon over the final weekend.
Okay, cool.
Unfortunately, there's nothing we can do. SpeedCon is a partnered event of ESA, so they're gonna be. They were supposed to be streaming on our channel, but now.
Right.
It felt really bad, like knowing the dates and not being able to properly tell them because of NDAs and all of that stuff.
Oh yeah. You don't think
Play
about
along.
that. Yeah, that's
it's difficult.
It was really bad for. We felt really. I felt really bad about that.
I mean, when you have so many events too, it's hard to avoid that. Yeah.
Okay, so anyways, I mean, obviously TwitchCon is a hype thing, but that's not where the end of of ESA's ESA's hypeness. It doesn't end there, right? I mean, you're also teaming up for speed gaming with something. Can you tell us a little bit about that? I mean, that should be pretty hype too, right?
Sure. As you might have seen, the restreams for ESA Winter were in large part on speed gaming. That's just one thing. We want to grow our relationship with speed gaming, and speed gaming will be a part of ESA Summer, as on being on site doing what they're doing. So speed gaming are going to be running tournaments.
Cool.
Stream tournaments in games that they in the games that they do. They're gonna bring the best of their product to ESA. They're gonna be running their own large room there. The second largest conference room. We'll help them as much as we can with hardware, because you can't really move too much overseas. You're very limited in what you can bring. So Fiesel and a few other of the organizers or rather the speed gaming staff are going to be coming to ESA.
Awesome.
Awesome. Looking forward to it.
So am I. I'm super excited about it.
Yeah.
It's an important step for us. I mean, you've seen ESA, and you know that we've had the second stream. Now essentially there's the third stream.
Yeah. That's
Right.
Yeah.
And that's very much in the lines of how we want to grow the event. We really want to expand on the community aspect of speedrunning, because we think that's what makes these events great. One example would be the Best of NES block, which we ended last summer with. That's bring one tight community together. Speed gaming is another community. We always have a very, very big presence of Dark Souls at ESA. And I think there's at other events, you have these communities coming together. So a lot of RPG runners can't go to RPG Limit Break, and I haven't been to a GTQ in a few years because of personal reasons, with two small kids, so I've not been able to travel. But I'm sure there are like big communities going to GTQ. I guess the Mario community has a big presence there. Recall seeing some backroom pictures of massive sunshine races. Could be wrong, but
yeah,
if you can tap into that potential at an event like 12 player or 20 players sunshine and make something fun out of that, that's what I want to see.
That's an interesting idea. Yeah, that's really cool. I mean, you always. One thing I like about GSA too is you're always trying new things, right? It's not like you're always up for new ideas, and you're always up for trying. Hey, let's try this. Let's team up with this people. Let's team up with this people. And that's really cool. But all right, we're kind of tight on time, so I want to get two questions. There's two questions left. I want to ask the first one. Cheese, you take the last one. We all like Grand Pooh Bear here. Cheese, you like Grand Pooh Bear. Yes, Edenal, you like Grand Pooh Bear. He had an interesting tweet though that I want to read for you guys. He said, "Community question: why do you think all ESA hasn't caught on that mass market appeal?" Sorry, let me rephrase that. I'm not trying to do it in a stupid accent. Community question: why do you think ESA hasn't caught on that mass market appeal the way GDQ has? Is it simply a situation of the speedrunning community not hyping it up as much, or something deeper? So I have my answer, and I know Cheese has an answer too, probably, but I want to hear Edenal's answer to that question.
That's a very good question. Really good question. I think part of that answer is that, as many people said in that thread, that we don't really have a big presence outside of our core group. We don't have a big social media presence, which is entirely true. We're a super small team, really, running these events, and social media has always been a department where we've been struggling. We've just recently got a social media manager on board who's going to help us with upcoming events. Some of you might know her. She ran a game, and she was participating at the last ESA. Charisse.
Okay.
Super nice girl. Super enthusiastic. She also, together with another former attendee, are going to head up a small makeup department for this summer. So that's going to be interesting. But I also think that ESA is super small especially North America in the speedrunning community. Lots of people are aware of it, but most don't tune in. When we tweet or when we're active on social media, we know North American speedrunners are following the account, but they don't interact with the account. They don't retweet it. They don't like the tweets. So I think it's. I don't think it's as easy as that we're not good on social media. It's that we're failing to engage or generate interest because there's so much more going on in the North American community. What we do greatly succeed with, though, is to connect with the European community. And I think the answer to Grand Puber's question is not as simple as why don't we get mass market appeal. I think it's the wider question: what's our purpose? And our purpose is Europe.
Yeah.
To be the event for Europeans. And with this winter event where we sold out, and last summer event where we grew, and we expect to sell 750 tickets this summer, I don't think we're failing. I don't think we're doing anything wrong. I think we can do stuff better, but we're not failing.
There's a growth. There's a growth, definitely.
Yeah, this is the first time you sold out, right? I mean, that's big news right there. The first time you sold out an event is last time, and yeah, there has been growth every time. So failing is not. I don't think he was even insinuating failing, right? I mean, I think he was just saying it's not the GSQ
no,
level.
of course he didn't.
Yeah.
I was just drawing a parallel between failing on social media and not.
Yeah. That's
maybe reaching the potential and failing as an event, because I definitely don't think we're failing as an event.
No one can say that for sure.
So I want to bring up the point real quick. Is first of all, social media is very, very difficult to know how to maneuver, depending on what it is you have, which organization you have, or what it is. Establishing how to, or understanding how to gain interest and popularity in social media. After that, after establishing what it is you're creating, is one of the hardest things I think about growing an organization, at least online. But adding to that, like you said with the North American thing, I think it's also because I've heard this, people have told me this before, and you see it in the GDQ audience. About 95% of GDQ's audience are people who don't know anything about speedrunning and only know about speedrunning because of GDQ. Because Twitch has shown GDQ and they've seen it and they like the runs, they like the event, and that's what they know, and they don't know anything outside of that. So it's like, how do you find, or is it possible to find a way to get all of that concentrated audience to see all of these other things in speedrunning, and to then help you to grow?
That's the $1 million question, isn't it?
Yeah.
How do you tap into that audience? I think the answer is really is time.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think that at the point, if you think about reach in terms of not only how far can your account reach, right? How far can your platform reach? Consider every attendee coming to an event. GDQ's been having thousands of attendees for several years. They've been selling out for several years. In comparison to that, selling out 125 people events maybe not that impressive, but if you consider every attendee, they have their fan base, and if they share and like and are active on social media during these events, difference between let's take our last summer event, difference between an event with 400 or 450 attendees and 2,500 attendees.
Yeah.
Dude, the difference there multiple times a year, that's where I think growth is going to come from. Because
yeah.
I mean, there's artificial growth, like Twitch front page can boost your numbers for a short period of time, but you're going to struggle with long-term engagement. You can be super active on Twitter. Let's say you could promote tweets and target the specific GDQ audience. You say like 95% of the people that follow GDQ are only interested about GDQ and not speedrunning. So it's a tough market to. You're looking for that. You're maybe going to reach that 5% of their entire following. It's tough. It's just the answer is time and create quality content consistently.
Yeah, I think it's worth saying is, just before we finish out here, that so many people's window into speedrunning, I'm talking huge runners, was GDQ, right? That's how they learned about speedrunning. And when you find something, the first window in you have to it, that's the one you hold closest to your heart, right? How many people out there, me too, when you first hear a band, the first song you hear, that one will always have a special place for you. You know, and it's, I can always listen to that song because that's the one that showed me this world. And how many people out there that the world was shown to them via GDQ window, and that's why GDQ is going to be special to them. So ESA, of course, can get there, but it's gonna, it's got to do like you said, it's going to take time to get more people's window be ESA, and every year you're doing that more and more. So it's going to take time to catch up, but it'll get there eventually, especially with the quality you guys have. And in that thread, there were some people that saying some very uninformed stuff about the production values not being there. That just tells me you're not watching. So some people that said that, I mean, you're not watching. I mean, if you're not watching, that's fine. And a lot of people said I never heard of ESA, which is a fine answer. But saying the production values are the reason is just false, for sure. But we got to let you go. We have been here for a long time. TwitchCon's coming up. You got a lot of stuff coming on. ESA Summer, ESA Winter. It's all going on. It's all the time. Is there anything else you can share with us? Any future stuff you want to share before we let you go?
I wish I could say yes, but unfortunately, like, super swamped with the 2 upcoming events. There's going to be more ESA events than those this year. You can be sure about that. Yeah, so I just thank you guys for having me, and everyone, please consider following both my personal account, the ESA account, Cheese, ALT, GSA,
for sure,
all of us. And I guess I'll see you guys around.
Awesome, yeah, guys. Edenal, thanks so much for your time, and yeah, it was awesome. And we got a little special treat. It is a special kind of look through ESA through the years highlight package we have here, and it starts with 2012, and it has a run. It has a run from every year leading up to now. So enjoy that. We'll catch you on the other side. Thanks again, Edenal.
Thank you, guys. Have a good one.
Key, and then like they have to fly a UFO, and it's like really cool and stuff.
And that takes a lot of time, and we're speedrunners, we can't have that.
So we like glitch through the wall instead.
Yeah. I mean, who needs walls?
Yeah, walls.
So you get those items in that order. It's a cake, hammer, globe, apple, tap. Some people say that it's a earth, because that would spell cheat, but it's clearly a globe because it can't be the earth, so it spells chigat. So when you spell chigat, it makes you invincible.
Dart Forces. This is a Doom clone. It came out in 1995. Comes slightly before Build Engine games, and doesn't use the Doom engine. LucasArts decided to come up with the...
Yes. Yep. Whole lot of nothing right now. It's just down, down. Yeah, basically. Meanwhile, Pogington and Fingers are doing level 5.
Yo, so welcome to Say Goodbye Fishing. This is Any Percent. I came up with the category on Dreamcast because I love the Dreamcast and I love the fishing rod controller because
it's the best.
It's totally serious, and this was a requested game on my stream.
Not get you there.
Oh god. Oh my god. Alright. Alright, go away, kitty.
You must be fucking kidding me!
Alright, I think the Lance Vance dance is like this. I don't know. I have no fucking clue what I'm doing. I don't know.
So definitely a cool look there into the history of ESA and how it moved. I think it's really the coolest thing for me is to see how layouts have changed. So I don't know if you saw the video, but you saw the first video of the first 2002. It's like a black screen with white text, and that's all it is. But yeah, it's pretty cool. Let's get to the next segment here. This is called This or That. Let's get a hype in here. This is, I'm going to give Cheese some choices. He's going to choose one or the other one. It's a very original game. You've never seen this anywhere else, I don't think, really, guys. But here we go. Here's my first one. Cheese, you ready for this?
Excited.
Okay, so, Mario 64, it's on the Mount Rushmore speedrunning. No question, right? There's a game that's definitely there, it's that one for me. The other 3 ones are kind of arguable, but that one is not. So, which game do you think is a better chance to work its way onto that Mount Rushmore of speedrunning, the top 4 kind of games of all time? Is it Celeste or is it Mario Odyssey? Which one has the better chance to get there?
Oh, this is such a hard one because just recently I've been talking a lot about Celeste and Super Mario Odyssey and how similar they are in the competitive aspect. So like, there's a common argument you see in speedrunning where people are like, oh, speedrunning is all about the nostalgia. You know, it's the nostalgia that brings us back to these old games, and that's what speedrunning is all about, right? The real grassroots mindset. But you look at the past year, you see Celeste, you see Odyssey. They come out, and within months, they're on the top of speedrun.com. They're the two most popular speed games. They have the most active runners, the most runs submitted, and now they're number 1 and 2, you know, right behind Super Mario 64. So you have to beg the question, like, what is it that's making these players, that making these games have so many speedrunners, right? Maybe it's the competition. People are starting to speedrun because of this competition. Which game do I think would be like the next? I think, if I'm going to be honest, I think both of them.
Oh, okay. We'll let that go this time only.
I think it's really hard to choose, but I'm going to have to say both of them because they both are showing really consistent growth in community, in numbers, and in potential.
Yeah.
It's really hard to choose one.
I would probably lean towards Odyssey just because of the Mario factor, but yeah, you can't really tell. Mario,
Possibly.
Yeah. So, okay. Your turn, man. Throw one at me.
Well, I was thinking, okay, so there's randomizer, there's bingo.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think should be or can be the next possible league that GSA has? Or Speed Gaming? Well, Speed Gaming has the current, but for GSA, what do you think GSA should try to adapt in their season 2, possibly?
Okay.
Would you rather see a bingo or a randomizer league?
Okay, well, at Speed Gaming, if you think about Speed Gaming, I think myself, randomizer, right? I mean, that's kind of what they've been doing for a long time. They've kind of linked up with that, and that's their main thing. They do, like, you know, they have like basically hourly tournaments now. I don't know, it's like every 10 minutes this new tournament starts. It's randomizer. It's like, but I think bingo is kind of a hot thing right now. It just started it's been around for a while, but I mean, it just was at GDQ for the first time not too long ago, and people are starting to get around to it and see what that's like. The problem with bingo is you need a lot of knowledge. So like, you really have to know what's going on to enjoy bingo. Like, it's next level. You turn it on. There's two guys playing a game. There's a bingo card. There's stuff on the bingo card. Imagine if you're a new viewer, it's like, okay, I'm out, right? So that's going to be tough. That's the challenge, right? Is to make it. Well, people. I mean, to be fair though, the randomized tournaments have a lot of viewers, and that's just as crazy, right? I mean, you just have all the items.
You know, there's this topic of the burden of knowledge. So it's like, what do you think, randomizer or bingo has like more of that burden of knowledge?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Which one is easier for the audience to get into, to understand?
Yeah, I guess I would say do bingo because that's kind of a new thing. If I'm talking on like the GSA trying to make GSA be a GSA thing, I would say do bingo just because of that. Because Speed Game is such a hold on the randomizer. But there you go. What is your answer to that though?
I would say, since randomizer is being taken care of pretty much, you know, Speed Gaming is really the forefront of that community. Maybe we should have some bingos, you know, try out some bingo. And not only that, but there are games like Celeste and Odyssey. Well, Odyssey already has their bingo, but Celeste, you know, I've heard of them talk about possible bingo opportunities that could arise from Celeste. And it involves like berries, and there's a lot of possibilities, but I think that would be something awesome if GSA could possibly kind of like create their own version of Celeste bingo, for example, and implement that into a league. Yeah, that would be really exciting, I think.
That'd be pretty hype for sure. My next one, I got two here. So this was a more personal one for the Cheese Man here. What will happen first? Okay, Cheese will become a variety streamer, or Cheese will stop streaming altogether on Twitch. Which will happen first? if one has to happen, right? That's the key. One has to happen. So variety streamer, or you stop streaming altogether. And when I say variety streaming, I mean speedrunning is not your main thing, right? You might do it on a Sunday or whatever, but it's not your main thing. Which will happen first? Be honest here. Come on, people want honesty.
Okay, so it's a really good thing that I just started taking music classes and taking it very seriously. So let's say in a dream world that somehow happens.
Okay.
Then probably the second option, I'll stop streaming altogether. But I just had to talk about this on my stream today. Variety streaming is something that, not only for me, but I think for most competitive speedrunners especially, it's very difficult to first like understand and get used to the idea, because speedrunners are so hardwired into their craft that it's really hard to break out into like a variety stream. and it's a very different thing all by itself. Variety streaming, the atmosphere, the style of it is a very different story than is a whole different story to competitive speedrunning or just competitive streaming in general. Me personally, I have a lot of work to do in it. I need to experiment a lot with variety streaming, but in general, it's really something to think about. And but if I was to choose one right now, I mean, probably variety streaming. I've been saying I want to try it out, and streaming it's awesome. Who doesn't want to be a streamer? Right?
Definitely. That's the thing, right? When variety streaming, especially you're known as a speedrunner, right? Mar64 is cheese.
Yeah.
When you want to practice, I would want to try variety streaming. It's basically saying I want to cut my audience in half, and then try to see if I can get a new audience with that, right? I mean, that's basically what you're doing. It's so rare that someone can make the jump.
Exactly.
You can count on one hand, right? We're talking Trihex, Bitwix, not Bitwix, Witwix. Witwix, yeah, Witwix is another one.
There's actually another one that a lot of people don't know about, but Professor Broman.
Oh yeah, okay, I know him. Yeah, he used to run the PC games at GDQs. Yeah.
He's a streamer, and he started with speedrunning first.
He's a Borderlands speedrunner, if memory serves. But so I would say hopefully you choose variety streaming over just quitting, because people want to watch you. So, and it's not like it's a bad thing. Of course, we want to see you speedrun as well, but if people will accept you, do whatever you want to do online. So last one, your turn. Send it my way, and this is the end of this or that.
Well, I didn't expect two from you, to be honest, so I didn't prepare a second one.
Okay, I'll ask you one more then, because I got another hot one. Okay.
Go for it, yeah.
Okay, so what was more important for speedrunning as a whole, right? Which was more important? The creation of Twitch or the creation of GDQs? Which was more important? You can't say both. Don't make it dumb.
What are you trying to this is an interrogation.
Yeah, this is a hot this or that segment. So people are loving this right now. I can't even see the chat, by the way, so if you say anything I can't see.
Oh my lord. I know we're cutting it real tight, but this question is too juicy.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna cut it short, give it a quick answer, but I need 10 seconds to think about it.
Give them 10 seconds, guys. Hit the music. Production crew. Oh, we don't have a production crew, so there's no music, but that'll happen next time.
I would have to say Twitch. Actually, this is an easy answer. Twitch, for sure.
Okay.
Because if Twitch didn't exist, GDQ would not have gotten. How did it? Would
yeah, you could. Popular? If you break it down that way, you could say how would they? They could find some other platform, right? They find YouTube,
right?
Yeah, YouTube streaming, right?
But Twitch was early. Twitch is early in the live streaming thing, right? So and GDQ was 2010.
Mm-hmm.
So GDQ, Twitch together, it helped significantly in the jump. YouTube streaming is really a much newer thing, so I don't think it would have been nearly as much growth.
There you go.
And apart from GDQ, Twitch itself, all these streamers, and then Siglemic and Narcissa, when they started, it's they were the streamers on Twitch, and they were speedrunning. So definitely Twitch is probably the easy answer in that one.
There you go. This or that segment is now over. That's pretty good hype segment. Well, that'll be a thing we do repeatedly every week, so stay tuned for that. But it looks like we're really tight on time, so let's run to. Let's see. Let's go to let's go to hype runs. What do you look forward to in terms of hype runs coming up? I think that's what we should go to now to finish. Jeezy.
Well, there's my race tomorrow versus Punkay.
Okay, that's what I was gonna say too. You stole mine. That's at 10 p.m. East, guys. 10 p.m. East. Cheese versus Punkay. Two Titans on the Mario 64 community.
And not only that, tomorrow another race tomorrow with Stravos versus Nigrovita. The first race of the day. Top 2 in the SMO League, Super Mario Odyssey League. Currently, Stravos and Nigro. That is gonna be. I can't say who's going to win or who, because Stravos is first place right now. But you have to think, too, that Nitro is really strong at 90% right now. He's come back strong. He got world record. Lil Curbs took it from him right now, but, Nitro is the top of his game now. So, it's going to be interesting to see, because Stravos is known as the race king of Super Mario Odyssey. And then Nitro has, he has a consistency again. So that's going to be another one to look out for. On the Division 2 side of things, and the 70-star Super Mario 64, Momo versus. I'm trying to get the.
Shoutouts to Momo.
Don't kill me here, but Momo.
Shoutouts to Momo, my friends. Follow Momo right now.
Starget. Where's the second player? Momo versus Tabascoth. There we go.
There you go.
Because Tabascoth was a wild card. Tabascoth came in and replaced Poke, and Tabascoth has gotten significantly better very, very quickly, and he is beating everybody. So Momo is in second place right now in the league, but he hasn't lost a race yet. So Momo versus Tabascoth is going to be a really tight race as well. Of course, we have the Diddy Kong Racing tournament just launched today or yesterday, I believe. And there's a whole full lineup of DK races coming very soon. So definitely that as well.
Lots of hype stuff coming up, guys. If you're not following GSA on everything, obviously you should if you're watching this show. But yeah, before we close out, let's get to the shout-outs, because obviously this show is not made by two people. It's not made by ALTInsider. It's not made by Cheese. It's made by a lot of people that helped out. So I want to say real quick, shout-outs to D Whatever for the highlights. Shout-outs to Lim Cube for these awesome layouts you see right now. Shout-outs to TGH, obviously. Edenal, obviously. Steve for starting GSA. Shout-outs to Pity for that awesome league rundown. Anyone else you want to give shout-outs to, my friend? Cheese.
ALTInsider for helping me co-host.
Yes, we got through it.
The guest, Edenal and TGH as well. Thank you for
Go
coming
follow
in.
everyone. Cheese has a podcast as well. Two Dads podcast. It's good. I have a podcast as well. MyInsanePace.com. You can see that. And yeah, we're gonna leave you out. We'll see you in 2 weeks, guys. So that next episode will be in 2 weeks, which is sometime that I should know.
Every other Monday.
Every other Monday we're coming. That's going to be March 11th. Yeah, March 11th, 9:15. 9:15, guys. So we're a little bit better on time. 9:15. But it was really fun. We have a highlight package to send you out. We might not be able to watch the whole thing because we got to get to the race there. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Yeah, join the Discord, the GSA Discord, if you want to talk about the episode. Tell us what sucked. Tell us what did not suck. We're waiting for your feedback. Cheese, send us out.
All right, guys. We will see you in 2 weeks, and enjoy the next race right now coming up. Super Mario 64 action again, and that's it. Goodbye for now.
Nailed it.
Love you all.
The flames might be bouncing around, and you might
The
be low on health.
N64 could catch on fire. I mean, you never know.
Okay, co-commentator with some outlandish suggestions.
Bad. Doing an extra long jump here.
He is.
Oh, and he's taking another
he
block.
wants to die. He wants to
die. And he's falling in. Oh, he's got it.
How is he still alive?
Oh my gosh.
I don't know how he didn't.
What a backup. I have never seen a backup like that in HMC ever. That was unbelievable.
Making quick work of this screen. He's going to grab another berry. No, he's not. He's going to keep this one on hand, though, as he's heading for auto-scroller skip. Woo! He gets that with... All right. Oh, no! Can you save this? Can you save this?
Ah! Oh, my God! Oh, my God!
Time. No sub estimate. Nice.
Who's gonna get it?
Oh, Colin got Robo Sponge.
Colin pulling ahead.
I think he's got this. Colin's still gonna go
Colin doesn't care. He's going for it. Ladies and gentlemen, he's doing it for the fans. He's doing it for the fans, ladies and gentlemen.
Are you kidding me?
I can't believe what I'm seeing. I can't believe what I'm seeing right now.
Oh, man. Oh,
He's crazy. It's crazy. He's nuts.
I think he might have this.
He's insane.
Ringo fell. Oh, no.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the greatest race of Battle for Bikini Bottom I've ever seen.
Wow.
What a legendary comeback from Cohen. What a legendary comeback. I can't believe this.
Oh my goodness.
Is this what you expected to see from Battle for Bikini Bottom? Is this what you expected to see, chat? What an unbelievable comeback from Cohen. He didn't even have to do it.
Saving more time. Almost needs Goomba to make another mistake even after that just to win. We'll have to see what this is. Goomba busting out on another. Oh god, this is looking pretty close. Goomba coming around the corner a little bit tighter. Who wants it more? 104.7. What the? Oh my god!
By 1 millisecond?
On the shortest track in the game. Holy crap!
Wow, that was. Oh my god!
Wow. Who even won?
Man, that strat. The game is just, it never stops, dude. Oh, Poke, missed time moving strat, going for reds. This could be career suicide. These reds are known to be very, very finicky.
He's got good timing here, going on the ascent. He's got to turn around now.
I think he's got it. Okay. Okay.
Let's go.
That's a huge jump dive. He's gonna be sailing a bit in the air, but I mean, he handled it about as good as it could go.
I don't know, but we'll give it a try, and I can always do like a backup strat. We'll have like 3 attempts.
So what you have to do for this skip, if you note, there's...
Oh!
No way!
Holy shit.
I've done it. That's normally pretty hype in like any percent, but you gotta climb up on this crane to get the bag at 100%. So
I can't believe it.
It saves like less time, but impressive nonetheless.
Just got them goosebumps.
We don't have time to talk about it now. I guess we will. Just.
However, this will all come down to this lap. Emo dropping some mini turbos, not getting the R-Tech he wants. Halo too close to the wall, bonks it well, get stuck!
360 no scope.
A little stall, but I don't think he wants that. Definitely doesn't go for the mid-air mini turbo now. Emo is ahead, misses the zipper, goes for the middle one, and he falls down! Is this it? Will Halo do this? Oh my, I cannot believe if he actually does this. Oh, the quick correction. Holding that mini turbo.
Biggest R-Tech of his life.
Oh, he cannot get stuck. Imagine if he gets stuck. Oh my lord, will he do it? Halo coming out of nowhere. Can he take this? Left mini turbo. No mid-air MT.
R-Tech.
Sketchy line. Shrooms. And there it is. Halo takes it over.
You must be